Hello, good evening, folks.
Good evening,
Yo,
teacher.
What you doing? How was your day? Tiring, right?
Yes, tired.
Yeah, I know that on Sunday it's one of the day that it's so tiring. Okay, folks. In this session, these are the topics that we will be covering here. Introduction to the instructional materials, the purpose of instructional materials, and the types of the teaching and learning materials, and how to design a didactic plan, okay? So the objective, folks, in this session is to recognize the main elements that we need when designing a didactic plan, okay? I would like to start with a question that we have. What do you understand about it? What are instructional materials? I'm all ears. Jacqueline, what about you? What do you understand by instructional materials?
Wait, me, teacher, because my neighbors has a party and it's very noisy.
And you're dancing.
I understand about instructional material that it's a material that has a little instruction that the student understand what are they going to do or what are the activities that a student will work.
Okay, good. What about you,
for me,
Andrea?
teacher,
How was your day today?
teacher, I
Okay,
think that
Nayeli.
is a state that how to design of material.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Hi. Yeah, so it was pretty busy, but at least almost over.
I
Um,
understand.
well, by instructional materials, I actually understand that those are the resources that we as teachers have, like textbooks or maybe some other resources that we can use in order to carry on with the lesson planning.
Yeah, that's right. That's very good. Yeah, as you said before, right? Instructionals, materials, or sometimes it can be called like teaching and learning materials. As you mentioned before, are resources, right? That a teacher may use in teaching and learning situations. And the purpose is to help achieve desired learning objectives. Because remember that in every class we have objectives, right? And at the same time to facilitate the teaching and learning process. Okay, very good. Now let's see, let's move on. Okay, here we have some innovative teaching and learning tools. For example, we have podcasts. What do you understand? Caroline, what do you understand by podcasts? Beverly, are you there? So what do you understand by podcasts? What are podcasts? I'm pretty sure, folks, that this is not new for you because in sometimes probably you have used podcasts.
Well, teacher, podcast is a digital medium
consisting of an audio or video episodes that relate to a specific theme.
Okay, very good, good. Another opinion about it? What do you understand by podcasts? Have you ever used before in
Also,
class?
teacher,
Podcast, go
also,
ahead.
Jacqueline, go ahead, Jacqueline.
okay. Podcast, according to the opinion of my classmate, also it's an interview with two people are talking about any topic, and and the interviewer makes some question to the interviewer and make a conversation about any topics. And this is my opinion about podcast,
Okay,
because
yeah.
I watch some podcasts, and all the podcasts has the same weight, and make some interviews about any topic, or they talk a lot of things.
Okay, good. Now, Jervin, it's your turn. Do you agree with him? With her, sorry?
Yes, teacher, I'm agree with Jacqueline. I
Yeah.
think that podcast is a good tool to implement in your English skill because there are many topics that is interesting, and also it is important to to implement this method to acquire information, vocabulary, and also we can learn your comprehension. This is my opinion about this.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Beverly, do you agree with them? So when you use postcards, which the macro skills is used the most?
Listening, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Andrea, do you agree with them that say that we can use podcasts? They were explaining before.
Yes, I mean, at the end of the day, like podcast, depending on the people that are doing it, their podcast can vary, like the topics. Some of them might talk about general things. Some of them will even focus on English teaching or learning and so on. But most of the time, what I have seen, because I don't usually listen to them, it's that they interview people so
Right,
that they discuss a lot of topics.
right, right. Okay, very good, very good. Now let's move on with another important and innovative tools that we have, and screencasts. Have you ever seen this word? Have you ever used?
For me, no, teacher. It's the first time that I see this word.
So for example, what am I doing now? What do you understand? Because I'm doing a screencast.
Oh, okay, I understand now.
It's
Screencast.
maybe a digital recording.
Yeah, they are recordings, right? But which types of recordings?
It's like action that take place in a computer, maybe.
Yeah, we use computer, but one of the example about the screencast is, for example, when you do a training videos, right? Or a video lessons. There are some institutions and even some English academy here in Nicaragua that they have 1 week is presential and the other week is online, right? So they do a connection as us. We are doing now a video Zoom, a video lesson. So this is a screencast, okay? So that is recorded the presentations, right? And this is one of the most useful tools to use for digital, okay? And we use as well as recording, right? Tutorials, the thing that we're doing now, it's a very simple example of a screencasts. Okay, let's see another one. Educational videos. What do you understand for that? What are those?
Maybe it's when you teach about any topic interesting that is educational or the different mat materials.
Mhm.
Yeah. For example, math, science, air, environment, a topic that are interesting for to teach.
Yeah, good. One of the examples that we have for educational videos are the videos that you record, okay, as a task, and then provide a link over here. And in that video, you present educational materials, right? For a topic that has to be learned, right? So something important here, folks, that the formats can vary, right? Because so some of you I have seen that use PowerPoint presentations, some others use Canva, etc. Right? So the format can vary, but that's the main idea in educational videos, right? Good. Let's see the other one. I would like to listen to other people that haven't talking today. Okay, we have the educational posters. What do you understand for that? What are those? Have you ever used at class?
When we talk teacher about educational poster, it's something related about your lesson plan. The posters, the poster, they have a little, sorry, the poster
Yeah, don't
has,
worry.
the poster has a, a relationship that the topic that you are teaching in this moment, because you are teaching one topic and the poster is other thing, you make a confusion with the student. For example, you are teaching the in elementary school, for example,
Yeah.
and you are teaching month of the years and the poster is about month of the year, you can use at the end, at the beginning of the class and ask to the student what months are we on, for example, and the student touch the month and they are learning about the month of the year and they recognize what is the month that we are in this moment. I think that can be educational posters, and this is my opinion.
Okay,
It's
very
some
good.
it, okay, thank you, teacher.
Yeah, very good. Thank you too. What about you, Blas? Do you agree with her? Are you here, Blas?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Well, when it comes to educational posters, what I understand about this is that it's a type of like a visual uh, aid to the learners and of the way the learners can understand better the topic that is being taught at the moment. And of course, sometimes we use it,
Yeah.
but currently I really think that uh, it's not common in classroom.
Okay. Okay, good. One a simple example, folks, of educational posters is you have been working on this in my classes, and it is the infographic, right? That is one of the examples for educational posters, the infographic. So on the documents that is on the session number 5 in the platform, so you will see an example of infographic, okay, that I decided to put there, but it was worked by some of you. Okay, let's see another one. Let's see opening educational resources. The last 3 volunteers. Nayeli, what about you?
Teacher maybe is I don't know, teacher.
Caroline, what do you understand by opening educational resources?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
You got on the screen. What is opening educational resources? Is the last one. On the
Ah,
right side.
opening educational resource. Mm, actually, I don't know.
You didn't have any idea? Oh,
Maybe
for example, I'm gonna give you some clues. For example, when you use visualization in the classrooms, and your objective is to foster the students' learning.
well, it could be all the posters as it says above of that educational poster, or maybe the posters, or any type of picture that can uh, que puede llamar la atención al estudiante.
Or maybe
Caught the students' attention.
Yeah.
maybe it's our
Remember that one
materials.
of the advantage that we have for this is that they are free to reuse. They can be adaptable and you can share with your students. It's folks, this is when you look for information, right? So when you look for information on internet, right, and you find a lot of collections about the things that you're looking for.
Yeah, I would say, teacher, that
Yeah.
I would say that when it comes to this, what it says, right, open educational resources. Well, resources, we understand that is all type of things that we use in order to make easier the teaching at the moment. So therefore, I think that videos are one of them, and also some links like Andrea before has used in the classes to teach us how a task can be completed by without linking, making all people to participate in the classroom. Think that also textbooks like audiobooks related to certain topics that can interest us are kind of resources or materials that can be used in the learning.
Teacher,
Yeah.
and also maybe can be information that we learning or teaching that there are in library, for example, books, educational.
Yeah, good.
Into that, I will also add maybe like worksheets, because
Yeah,
you know we can customize them at the end. I mean, I
right.
can look them on the internet, and I can look them for depending on the level of my students, or maybe if I don't find anything on the internet, I can create them myself. And also maybe simulation games, like for example, if we look for a game in Kahoot, we will have a lot of topics to review and different
Yeah,
kind of levels of students. So I would say that kind of things.
yeah, that's right. Okay. Thank you very much, folks. Let's move on to another thing. Something important that I would like to discuss with you, that are the elements that we have in a syllabus, right? So in this example, folks, we have just the first part for the first week, okay? But on the platform, you will find the whole syllables for this course, okay? That the course is linguistics, okay? So as you can appreciate, folks, there, so we need to take into account the week, okay? We need to reflect to the week there, which week you're working, then the date that corresponds to that week, and then the objectives. Something important in the objectives. Most of the time, the objectives are taken, folks, from the program of the curriculum subject, right? Then we have the content, and then we have the teaching and learning materials. Sorry, the teaching and learning strategy. Here, you can use different types of strategies, right? And all depends on the topics that you have. Let's see, if you want to work, for example, speaking and listening. So one of the strategy that you can use there, it could be the interview, okay, questionnaire, okay, discussions, questions and time, questions and answers, sorry, and so on, okay? Then we have the evaluation. On the evaluation chart, we have the types of evaluation and the assessment, okay? So the types of evaluation that you're gonna do, in this case, we have the observation, okay? But it can be a diagnostic test. It can be a listening quiz, and so on, okay? And the assessment, you need to reflect to that. I don't know if you remember when you were taking that class, where we were talking about assessment, that we have different types of assessment, right? So if you're gonna, for example, in this case, according to this example, so we are working with observation and the assessment. Which types of assessment do you think is the observation? It is summative, it is formative, it is formal, it is informal. What do you think?
It is informal
Why?
because you don't have a point. But it depends because can be formative. I don't know. I confused. I consider that can be formative.
I'm sorry, what when you say observation, what do you mean? What is like the activity that is being carried on?
It's like the instrument that you're gonna use, okay? The types of, okay, in this example, I have observation, but depends on the content or the topic that you have and the types of evaluation. It could be a listening quiz, an oral presentations, and so on, right? You understand?
Yes.
So this is the types of tests that you're gonna use to evaluate your students. And then you need to clarify on the assessment if it is formative, summative, informal, or formal, right? Let's see, imagine that we had there, instead of observation, a listening quiz. So that is formative. That would be formative, folks.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think it will depend on how it's developed because I can do some listenings and I don't necessarily need to like give them a grade. And I
Right,
can
as
also
a
do
as a formative judge, right?
and I can also like not let them know, like I wouldn't like let them know that we're gonna have that test, so that would be informal because it's not announced.
Yeah.
But I can also let them know in advance, so that would be formal because they will know already, so that way they can prepare themselves if they want to. So I guess like it will depend on the way that you deliver the class.
Yeah, right, right. Does anyone have any other question, folks, about this? As I told at the beginning, folks, in this didactic plan or syllabus, I only have the first week, okay? But on the platform, you will find the complete syllabus, okay? For 14 weeks, okay? 14 weeks. And something, I'm asking for question, folks, because your last task is related to this, okay? You have to design a syllabus at least for first week because of the time, okay? And you have to use the program of the subject that I put on the platform. The name is pronunciation. So in that document, you will find the whole topics that will be covered in the syllabus, but you have to develop just the first week. You understand what you're gonna do?
Can you explain again, teacher? Please.
Okay, on the platform, you will find a document that is called pronunciation in Spanish, pronunciación, okay? So there, you have the whole topics for that subject, and you have to design a syllabus for that, okay? So taking into account these terms, these things, aspects that we have here, like week, the date that will be developed the first week, the main objectives that you want to achieve at class, the content that appear on that document called pronunciation, the teaching and learning strategies that you will use, and the evaluation system that you will be using for that, okay?
Teacher, this is like a sequence that I didactic. Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah. Remember that the purpose of the syllabus is to have a sequence, as you said, right? To have an order about the topics and let's see, and the types of evaluation that you're gonna do, because you need to post the date, right? There, when are you going to make a types of evaluation, right?
Okay, teacher.
And
And just
if
to
you
be
got,
clear,
yeah,
because I don't see it, it's like we have well, we need to develop the objectives and stuff, but do we need to describe the activities or we just mention them? Like, for example, if we will develop a questionnaire, we don't need to like write them down, like write
no,
all the
you have to
questions. And
design. If you have in the teaching and learning strategy, for example,
Mhm.
a questionnaire, as you said, so you need to design that questionnaire, because
And I
that
need
will
to
be
put them like in
your
the
teaching
table.
material, right?
So I need to put it like in the table. Like, for example, if the topic was environment and I want to do like an interview, I need to like create all the questions and put them on the table, right?
Right.
Okay.
Remember that on the syllables, you only mentioned the name of the strategy that you're gonna use, and then as a teaching materials, you will develop that, right? Let's say, imagine that my topic for today is speaking about sports, and one of the teaching and learning the strategy that I have is discussion or interviews. So then I prepare an interview with at least 10 questions related to sports, okay? And that will be my materials that I'm gonna use in the first class. That makes sense?
Totally. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, folks, if you don't have any other questions, thank you, okay, for having been connected to the last session. Remember that next Sunday, we have the final exam, okay, the final written exam that will be able from the morning until at midnight, okay? Don't forget and don't hesitate that if you have doubts or questions, you can ask to me to my own WhatsApp, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay,
Good
folks,
night.
see you. Good night.
See you.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.